What's up, guys? I'm Frank. I'm a grateful recovering addict. How you guys feeling tonight? All right? Stuck in a meeting? This is all residential, right? And a little bit of outpatient? All right, so thank you. Like I remember that. I'm coming up on 18 months, you know what I mean? Which I should have 3 years right now. Because I was in this program 3 years ago. I was in this program during COVID. I'm not gonna get too into my addiction because like you guys are here in treatment, so I'm sure you guys know what addiction is. Thank you. Like I know what that's like. You talked about turning your life, your will over to God. Like that's important. That's something I struggle with, right? Um, I don't know about you guys, but like for me, it's a big fucking deal to be here right now. Like it's a big deal for me. Like I've shared on a few panels. Um, But like I get a call the other day from Nancy, and this is not the first time, and it's like, nah, I relapsed, or I don't have any time, or like literally I don't have enough time. I work, right? So I put off my commitment tonight. I had someone else do my commitment because like I'm going through shit. I'm going through life on life's terms right now. This is what I need, right? Because I'm selfish. I'm an addict. Like I'm gonna do what I need, right? But at the same time, I'm gonna give you guys what you need because that's how this program works. Like I work on Narcotics Anonymous program. I don't, that's how I do it. Uh, Narcotics Anonymous saved my life. Fred Brown introduced me to Narcotics Anonymous. Like I was driving up here, and I remember the morning meditation walks when I looked over at the marina, and it stopped. You know, mind I'm in treatment during COVID, so there's no family visits, and I got three beautiful kids that I miss, right? And they're in another county. Like real quick, I was born in Long Beach. I was born in Long Beach in the 80s. So, like I seen crack, I seen that shit hit. I seen people lose houses. We got robbed, like furniture gone, twice. And my pops was like, we're gonna move out to Riverside County. Oh, I grew up out there a little bit, and I grew up in a place called Lake Elsinore, right? I don't know if you guys are familiar with Lake Elsinore. There's some bad places in Lake Elsinore, right? And there's some bad people in Lake Elsinore, right? And there's all kinds of there's small town folks, there's small town gangsters. It's been around for a long, long time, and there's bikers, right? And I was very, very manipulative, very, very like I was a chameleon. I grew up with some people, and I could be around this circle, and I could be around that circle, and me lo paso bien con paisa y platico bien. I'm half Italian, half Mexican, right? So I can go anywhere I wanted to go to get loaded or to seek validation because that's what I was looking to do, right? I had these expectations since I was a kid, and I remember my uncle telling me, he caught me stealing something, and he's like, Junior, if nobody's seen it, it didn't happen. So don't worry about it. And that really, really hit me. I would do so much shit growing up that like nobody seen and it didn't happen. If I did someone dirty, it's my word against theirs. If I was bigger and stronger and I could assert my will, it didn't happen. Right? Uh I've been in my active addiction for more than my life. I'm more than half my life. I'm 42 years old. I started using drugs at 13. Weed, blow, then ecstasy, all kinds of mushrooms, acid, right? That's like 29 years, something like that. But I was a addict well before that. Well before I picked up my first hit, right? Um, I just want to thank you for asking me to come here because during COVID, man, like I did my mom so dirty. Like before I went to prison. Okay, so real quick, real background. I'm doing these things and I'm doing small crime, right? And one time in county jail, two, three, four, 15, 20 sometimes, GTA, possession, gun charges, right? Finally, I'm going thinking I'm gonna just do a few months and go. And he's like, nah, man, what state you go? You go to prison. And what's supposed to be a quick turnaround turns into 13 months, almost 14 months, right? Um, Prison was a whole nother ballgame. Prison when it was like, I don't want to fucking die in here. Because that same uncle who told me, like, if nobody's seen it, it didn't happen, he got whacked in prison. And I remember when I got that phone call, I was in my active addiction. I was selling drugs. But if I can take care of my family and provide a home, I was good. I was good. I had no idea whatsoever. Like I was blinded by this disease, right? I get a call and this is what happened. And I show up to my mom's house and when I get to see him, he got whacked. Nobody around him. He died alone. He got sent home in a box, ashes. This is somebody I looked up to, right? So I'm in prison thinking this because what goes on in prison, well, if you've been to prison, that's what happens. You see people get airlifted out of the yard and then 20 minutes later, like nothing fucking happened. Life goes on, right? Like this is my life. That was one of my biggest fears, and I'm vulnerable enough to share that with you guys. Like I didn't want to die in prison, and that can happen clean. I don't want to die in prison, right? Like that was every night, dude. Every night, going to bed. Like, cause I know what happened. I know what happened. They got him when he was sleeping, and they got him back. You know what I mean? And that's a tough thing for me to process, right? But like, thank you for asking me to come here because as I'm driving up here, I realized those morning meditation walks. I realized every night, Nancy in the house, Nancy in the house, put your shirt on, right? Or hide whatever, the extra food or whatever it is, right? Because I've been through this. Like I've been through this, right? And then meeting time, and for us, it was a Zoom meeting. And I remember being in Narcotics Anonymous meeting in Zoom and hearing a woman share passion. Like it's like talking about being homeless, with someone who's been homeless. You can't do that with someone who's never been homeless, right? And I remember this passion coming through the screen and me thinking for the first time, because I thought this whole program was bullshit. I was like, I'm gonna get out of here, dude. This is what my family wants me to do. If I can do this for 3 months, I'm gonna get off parole because I got out of prison and right away I'm using and I'm dirty. And it's like you could either do a program or go upstate. And I said I need to go to another county because where I'm at, I'm very well known. Like he sent me to sober living house and I turned the sober living house out. You guys think you guys had dope? Okay, cool. Let me call someone and then boom, I turned that house out. And I'm homeless within a month. First time I'm checking in, I'm skinny, I'm dirty. So I asked for a program. He's like, you got 2 days for your family to call me and get you a program in another county. And if they find you one, I will go check up on you. Do you remember when they came to check up on me? Like suited up, bro. Like suited up, and everyone like it was because it's picture a typical day at Fred Brown, right? And he was just coming to check on me. Well, I'm off parole today. You remember that, Matt? Like I'm off parole today, right? It's terrible that day. But like he wanted to see if I was clean. And he was like, you look good, you look healthy, because that's the first thing they see is your size, right? They want to see if you're sucked up. They're looking at your eyes, right? And yeah, man, I got off parole, right? And I wanted to move right back to Lake Elsinore. And if you're familiar with it, Lake Elsinore, like you don't get out of Lake Elsinore. Like you're very lucky if you get out of Lake Elsinore. Right? Like they make sure there's people there that'll make sure that if that's what you choose, that's where you're gonna stay. So that's a little background about me, right? So I'm in treatment, and Nancy was the closest thing I had every morning to hugging my mom, right? And if you guys can I don't know if you guys give her hugs, but like Nancy, thank you, like really thank you. Like I wanted to leave one time, and she physically grabbed me and was like, "You're not going anywhere. You're gonna go to the 5-man room," because I didn't want to go to the 5-man room. I wanted to go to like the 2-man room. I didn't. Seen enough J Cats in prison. I didn't want to see him here anymore, right? Like I don't want that shit, dude. Like like don't you know who I am? Like I wasn't willing to surrender shit. Like I wasn't really like, don't you know who brought me to treat me? Like I had an uncle that did Fed time that found this program for me, man, because he was an advocate for the courts. But like that same uncle, when I was gonna leave, asked me to move in with him, and I didn't feel it was right. Do you remember that conversation, Matt? Yeah. I had a conversation with Matt. I get a chance to, I don't know if I'm not going with my uncle, but like Matt, there's something. He's doing something. Right. He's got good intentions, but I'm hearing stories around Pedro about my uncle. And I'm like, fuck, dude. And he was like, you can come to my house. And if you know Matt, everyone wants to go to Matt's house, right? No one wants to go to Abel's house. And there was another kid, dude, this youngster. There was this youngster, right? This youngster, he's a good dude. His name was Pat. I was ahead of him. He really wanted to go to Matt's. And I had enough love for this dude because you do meet people out here. Like you do bond with these people. You're spending 3 months with them, right? I was like, all right, you go. And I went to Abel's. Like, worst decision in my fucking life. Now that I look back, I really thank that man. I saw him at a meeting on Sunday, and I gave him some love because like his thing for me was like, dude, you're a good looking dude, and there's gonna be good looking women. And every time I would go to a meeting with some girls that would pick me up, you gotta be back at 8. I'm like, the meeting starts at 7:30. Like, and I'm beefing with this guy, right? And I said some stuff to this man when I left because I got moved to another house a week before I was supposed to leave. This is sober living. I said some stuff to him. And I think about that. I wasn't proud of that. Like this man, like really invested his time and energy, right? And he may be a certain way. Like at the end of the day, like he's doing something that I couldn't do. I don't know about you guys, but I couldn't do that, right? Um, Here's another experience I had. I'm gonna share with you guys a little bit because I know what you guys are like. I know what it's like to be here. Like they do these house searches where they did then, right? And they found a bag, and I had a bag, and in that bag there was a paper bag, and in that paper bag was a plastic bag, and that plastic bag was a weed pipe. It's fucking Abel found it. I'm gone. It's like a month in, maybe. I'm about to be gone, and I don't know if you guys can relate. Like, you think I'm gonna get written up for that? Matt, you think I'm gonna get written up for that? I know I was gonna get written up for that. I know I was gonna be gone for that, right? And I asked to speak to Roxy, and I had a conversation with her. The conversation consisted of me like really realizing this was my last chance. Like this was my like what am I gonna do? Like what am I gonna do? I don't even think I got my EBT or my health insurance yet from these people. Like what am I gonna do, right? I begged, dude, and I broke down and pleaded, and she was like, Why do you want to stay? Like there's people in here that really want to get clean, dude, and want your bed. Why do you want to stay? And I remember I looked in the eye and I'm like, because I can do this. I know I can do this. You know, that might have been my manipulative ways that I know, right? Because I can be anything I want to be to get what I want. If I want to hit, I can do what I need to do to get a hit. Like that's not a problem, right? So like, I get out, and in that Zoom meeting I was talking about, right? I see this girl talking about her recovery and how passionate she is, and I'm thinking in my head, like, man, like I'm on fire, right? My spirit's on fire. I'm like, oh my God, I want to be like that. I hope one day that like I have friends like that. I see that girl every Sunday at a Monday meeting. Or a Sunday night meeting. It's a book study I go to, right? We had tacos the other day, and that woman has helped me through my recovery, right? And there's another man on there that I saw share about his 1 year clean. He's like, he just took his 1 year because he relapsed, and his dad, he used to get loaded with his dad, and his dad got loaded, and his dad died, right? And I see him at Furman. The first outside meeting was like 3 weeks or a month before I got released from you guys. And we finally get to go, and he comes up to me and he's like, I'm so and so. How much time got like left in treatment? I'm like a month maybe, and he's like, well, take my number, bro. And I gave him my number, and he took my number, whatever, dude. Like, I had fucking extra phones, dude. I had extra phones because they would take our phones. Like this was my disease was manifesting in this treatment center. I can say that now because you guys can't write me up. Like I had extra phones. I would turn on a bunk phone. I was like I look back at my disease, and don't do this, dude. Like don't risk your recovery to do something like that, get caught. Like I did that shit, right? But I gave him my number, and the day I got out of treatment, I was like really excited. I was gonna go see my kids for the first time. I only got to see them once. One time they came down, and they were like, you get 10 minutes. And then Nancy somehow worked to where I got 20 minutes, bro. And I raised these kids. Like I was cheating on my baby mama with my neighbor, made it to like where my neighbor was friends with my baby mama. And then my neighbor found out that the girl I'm cheating with found out my baby mama was like cheating on me. So now I got a reason to have her kick rocks. I manipulated this whole thing to where the girl I cheated with paid for a lawyer, and I got custody of my kids. That's how manipulative I was back then, right? Some fucking sorry shit. That's sorry, dude, right? I get custody of my kids, right? So I raised my kids, right? But I was selling dope. I was providing, right? I was living all bad. Um, my kids love me, man. And today I get to be a part of their lives. Like today I get to go out there and take care of them, right? I'm really happy for that. Like, I'm really grateful I get to do that. Like if you're sitting in these chairs and you think, like, I can't tell you where you're gonna go, but I'll tell you, like, it gets so good, dude, if you just stay clean. That's the only thing it took for me to do, just to stay clean. And these opportunities kept popping up in my life. God kept knocking and I kept answering these doors. And it's like, I need a job. And another addict is like, okay, well, so-and-so's hiring. Well, why are you here? I've seen addicts give other addicts cars, and that car go from one addict to another addict to another addict to another addict. And then they grow, right? So this program has opened up so many doors for me. Just treatment. The same dude that I gave this number to, right? Calls me the day I get out, and he's like, "Where you at?" I'm like, "I'm coming to Elsinore to see my kids." And he's like, "When do you get back?" And I'm like, "I got curfew at like 10." He's like, "All right, well, there's a meeting at 7:30." The day I get out, the stranger, somebody I do not know calls me. And he's like, "Let's go to a meeting." He takes me to a meeting. I've been hitting meetings with this guy ever since, right? He just took 4 years clean. Saturday at the San Pedro Club. He's a solid dude. God put these people in my life through a Zoom meeting, and I never thought I would meet these people. Like it's very important for me to stay in recovery because life hits on life's terms, right? Since I've been clean, my mom used to cook all the time for me, right? But mom got sick. She had an infection in her intestines. She went septic, and we almost lost her last year, right? She was in ICU for 7 days. And I remember thinking on my way to the hospital, talking to my sponsor, and he's like, "Just you got your book on you?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, just so you guys know, like, I always got a book on me. Like, I'm gonna read from this book for you guys in a little bit, right? And like, I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Read Recovery and Relapse and read Living the Program." That's what I did, dude. While she's having the surgery, and the doctor's like, if she gets out and she's able to breathe on her own, we won't put her in ICU. That didn't happen. She got put in ICU. So now people are coming from out of state. They're crying and they're looking at me, and I got cousins coming and they're like, "Hey, let me talk to you." And they take me outside and they're just like these same people that would be like, "Where's the party favors?" They're like, "What's up?" And I'm like, "I don't." And they're like, "All right, I got you, but like, where's that, bro?" They don't believe me. Because that's the life that I live, and that's the life that I set up, and that's the life that I have to deal with now, right? Same mom who's sick in the hospital. I get out of Fred Brown and I go visit maybe 2, 3 months later, right? And I got a curfew still on my Abel's house. It's a family party. I leave and I leave my step work there. And I'm 20 minutes away and I double back. Shit, I forgot my step work. I walked back into the house and my mom looks at me. She's like, "Come here." I'm like, "What? Are you doing your shit again?" And it broke my heart, dude. I lost my shit because I wasn't, right? Well, guess what? Turns out every family party we had, I would leave. And I would come back loaded. Right? And that's what I had to deal with at that moment in time because that's the life I created. That's all they know. I still have family who comes out of state that sees me and I'm like, "I'm gonna get home." Like, "You leaving already?" I'm like, "Yeah, I gotta go back to Long Beach." And they start crying, dude. They start crying because they really think that I'm gonna like, they're never gonna see me again. You know? Like that's how serious my addiction was to where I would show up sucked up and I talk to family or even family friends, neighbors, and they'd be talking to me and I'm splunducky woo woo, bro. And them just talking and talking and talking, and they're just like, "Yeah." And then you see these tears start welling up. And they're just like, "Yeah, you're good," and they don't even know what I'm saying, but these tears are welling up. Complete strangers. Like I was homeless on the streets. My addiction got me homeless for 2 years, right? Kids all gone. I remember going sitting in front of my mom's house on Thanksgiving, like just sitting in a stolen car, like watching family show up down the street, hoping and wishing I could do that. I get to do that today, right? Um, this is a big fucking deal for me. Like it's a really big deal. Like I've been in my recovery, I've been in a relationship for 3 years. Shit don't work out sometimes. First time clean, like I was in a relationship recently with the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Really gorgeous, bro. Wondering how I got this, right? I'm taking a 9 month chip at Point Firm and I meet this girl, right? Beautiful relationship, right? Guess what? It just didn't work out. She didn't cheat. I didn't go out and use. It just wasn't working. How do I deal with that? The last 3 weeks since this has happened, I've been hitting meetings every day. Over the weekend, I hit 8 meetings, dude. 8 meetings because there's people in this program that'll tell you what you need to hear, get you on the right track, sharing your experience, right, with these people. And I only trust very few people. like my sponsor asked me, what do you believe is not true about Narcotics Anonymous? I'm like, the judgment. Like, you mean to tell me I can't walk into a room and someone's gonna look at me up and down and not judge me? Or when I raise my hand and want to share, someone's not gonna want it. They're not gonna whisper this and that or like whatever and not judge me. That's cool, right? But that's why I keep a small tight circle. Those people I saw in that Zoom meeting that have been there, that are there for me because when I got in this relationship, I put my recovery on the back burner. I relapsed with her in this relationship. A lot of people don't know that, right? A lot of people are like, "What? You did what?" Because she does not look like the type that would relapse. But she does. She looks like a freaking a cover girl. No joke. No joke. And I remember I'm going into her house. I first started dating her, and like it smelled like a vape pen, right? But it's not a vape pen. It's like some THC. And I could, when she kissed me, I could taste it, and I would always ask her like, well, like, but here's how my addiction, here's my disease works. I'd be like, if you're using, it's cool. Just let me know. I'll hit that shit too. She didn't want to tell me. She didn't want to tell me. A couple months go by, and then I see this thing there, and I'm like, what's this? And she's like, oh, and I just start hitting it. Then we go to New Year's party. And we're still working our program, right? We're still working our program. We're still going to meetings, right? We're still showing face. That's easy for me. I don't know about you guys, but that's easy, bro. Like I can show face. I can act like nothing's going on, no problem. I tell my sponsor all the time, even if I was using, you wouldn't know I was using at first. Because eventually I'm going to be sucked up. I'm going to be on the street. I'm going to show up in a car that you've never seen me in with a girl you've never seen me with who's worse off, probably worse off than I am. That's what I do. I prey on vulnerability. That's what my disease does. You know what I mean? And like we're at a New Year's party, and I know it's gonna happen. It's her friends, her old friends, you know, and she's like, I want to drink. I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's drink. And drink turns into some cocaine, then some MDMT or something that night. Then we're like at 3 different parties somewhere out in Sedina, dude. And like after that, I'm smoking weed on the regular, right? Between 18 months and 2 years clean. Coming up on 2 years. When I took my first year, my sister was fucking proud of me, dude. This is the same girl who put me in jail numerous times. We were arguments, right? She had posted something on Facebook when I got a year clean, and it was like just these baby pictures of us and memories, childhood memories, and she was big on paragraph being proud. And so it's my 2 year anniversary, right? But I'm dirty, man. I'm dirty. I think I had like maybe like 20 some days clean or something like that. I had really just stopped, but I didn't know how to come out because if it didn't happen, nobody's seen it. It didn't happen, right? I didn't know, right? And the only one who seen it was me and my girl, and she can't snitch on me because I can snitch on her, right? That's right. Like that's how it is. Like you know what I mean? Like oh fuck, you want to try this? Well, I'll do a line if you do a line, right? Like if you're not, you a con? No, well let's both. Like I know exactly what same thing in this relationship. Same thing. But we're supporting each other, right? This is me recovered. This is me clean. And I'm going to a meeting. It was, I think it was Cayuga. And I'm gonna take a shit. And that memory pops up. Oh, they could not do it. I had a head full of recovery that started here. I had seeds planted in my head, right? Like I would take from these Zoom meetings, just boop. You know, I'd take from someone I talked to outside after a meeting, boop. I'd take what Nancy did. How she held me up the wall, boop. I remember all these experiences, and I'm like, man, these people really care. Like I can't sit here and take a dirty shit. So like when it was like anybody got 2 years, I'm like, I should have had 2 years. Like I got, I don't know, 2 weeks, whatever. I started falling, dude. Just falling, right? These are the rooms I learned to be vulnerable in. You know what I mean? These are the people. Like I could burn my bridges anywhere, dude. I have burned my bridges at my mom's house. You know, anywhere. I can't do that in Narcotics Anonymous. Like I can't do that at Fred Brown. I could show up to a meeting loaded, right? And someone will still give you 0 to 29 day chip. Whenever I get to do chip commitments or key commitments, that's what I say. Now you could take this motherfucker loaded. Please, if you're loaded, come take this chip, right? And then we try to love on that still suffering addict. Like, and it may be hard for you guys to love on another man, or real easy to love on a woman for me, right? Like real easy, right? But like, I've seen people like people you're sitting here with, man. I remember I can name some people. Remember somebody stole somebody else's car and all that attitude. Like, remember, I'm not gonna say who, right? But like we're not here anymore. You know, and then just in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, there's youngsters, right? There's people who like that fentanyl kills, dude. Yeah. Like you just can't go out there and use and relapse. Like I really don't know if I have another relapse in me because I'll die. I'll die. I don't know how many times you heard a story, but I hear stories of like, yeah, they hit some meth, it was laced, dead. You know what I mean? Like that's the reality that we as addicts live like every day now. You know, and then like if you go up and down Pacific, it's there every day. You know what I mean? It's there every day. So like I remember this youngster, he's in a meeting and he's out of treatment, right? And he's showing up to meetings and like he's young, bro, 19, 20, like really young. And he's talking about, man, I can't wait to see my mom. I'm from out of state. Like I can't, and I'm good. But here's me. If you tell me, hey Frank, how you doing? And I'm like, I'm good. And someone else asks me, I'm good. Hey Frank, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. All of a sudden, I'm away from this herd, right? Hey Frank, how you been? I've been doing great. I'm isolated. And I really don't want to talk about how. Like sometimes I'll tell somebody like, I'm doing okay, right? How you doing? I've been good. Well, do me a favor, call me and really ask me how I'm doing. Okay. So I get people around me, they're like, nah, bro, how are you really doing? Because when you say good, you're fucked up, right? If I don't openly share about what I got going on inside, it kills me inside. Right? I go to this book study, dude, and they'll do like a paragraph at a time, right? And I like it because some people don't like it because you can't. Okay, well, you know what? Let me double back real quick. That kid, he's in a meeting, he's sharing. This is what he did. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good, right? And this is at my commitment. He hung himself. You're good. I think you might know who I'm talking about. When we as like predecessors to newcomers took him to a convention, and that's one of the memories I had. 2 weeks before, he's in a convention dancing his ass off, smiling, right? But you don't know what this disease does to you or what it's doing to someone else. So if you're in here and you see someone you care about, love on them, bro. Like fucking love on them. How you doing, man? You okay? Hey, I'm good, bro. Like, nah, man, like really, like how you doing? Because here's what I'm going through. And then that'll open a door to somebody being like, well, like, yeah, it was maybe I'm feeling this way. And it could be over something petty, man. And that's cool. But like this kid hung himself, man. Young, whole life ahead of him. It happens so many times in these rooms. And I don't know if you hear someone maybe talk about like, okay, you'll hear Nancy say, so did you hear about so and so or whatever? Usually when you say, did you hear about somebody? Yeah. They're gone as an addict. That's what happens when I hear that. And it's sad. It's sad. I was with this girl. She had a good friend in the program. He stopped going to meetings. We lost touch. He died. His family's out of state. And she got a hold of him through Facebook. Nobody knew where his family was. He stays with a good friend of mine and somebody he met in treatment, and they got a place together, right? And I remember his family came into town and we went to show support, and there was coroner tape on his room. And his kid, I got to watch his kid. Like I got to do this in my recovery, where his kid is probably 6 or 7, and his mom was like, you wanna open it? So nobody but his family could open that. And they opened the door, and the kid walked in there, and like he was just looking around, and there's a bed there, and that's where his dad died, right? And they took what they needed, and they took some things, and then the mom comes out, and she's like, why did this happen? You guys were supposed to be there for him. She's literally coming at me, like beating on me in the chest. Like, this was my girlfriend's friend. I knew of him, but like, how could you let that happen to my son? Like, these are things that I really haven't talked about in a long time. It's just coming out. Before I got here, I talked to a buddy of mine who's got 12 years clean, and we were just praying, man, that my tongue was anointed, that I could just touch somebody and reach somebody today, man. Like, I don't care how many people here be like, oh, this guy's full of shit, whatever, right? But there's somebody here that's really thinking about their life right now. And that for that, like, I'm grateful to my higher power for it. Because that's what we do. Like, I'm not a good sharing motherfucker. Like, I don't share all the time, and I don't speak all the time. But I hang around people that do. And I know people that do. And I admire these people that do, because this is a program of attraction rather than promotion. Like, we're not out in the streets giving out pamphlets saying Narcotics Anonymous saves lives. We don't do that. We go to a meeting, then you see somebody with chains, or you see somebody tattooed, and you're wondering, like, man, is this dude real? Because that's what I do. I judge. I'm watching that person who shares. I'm watching them, and then I'll watch that motherfucker for a year. Because if he does something grimy, I don't have nothing to do with that. Disqualified. Picture. I don't want that man in my life. I'm not gonna go to him for advice. So, like, if you see me out at a meeting doing some grimy shit, if you see me out here, please call me out on that. And be like, yo, Frank, come here, man. You said this to me one time, and I believed in you. Right? I believed in you, right? Then I can be like, I'm sorry, like, you're right. Because, like, I'm gonna be coming up on 2 years clean. I should have 3 years clean. A little over 3 years clean, right? I've been around this program long enough to fucking know better. Do you guys remember when I was a kid and, like, I made my sister feel bad? My mom would be like, you feel bad? I'm like, yeah. She's like, because you fucking should know better. If any of you guys feel bad for something you've done, good. That's a feeling. That's guilt. Like, I didn't feel when I was using. I hear all the time, hey, man, you want the good news and the bad news? I'm like, yeah, what do you want first? The good news. You get to feel again, bro. Yeah? Yeah. Well, what's up with the bad news? You get to feel again, bro. Right? Because leaving this relationship, it hurts. Right? And I realized the first time I'm doing this, like the very first time I'm doing something clean, 29 years of active addiction, I could lean on this program, right? And then I pray, like, I don't build a resentment, because it's easy when someone cheats to just be like, fuck, bitch, dude. Whatever. I'm gonna go, sister, whatever. I'm sorry, but my shares are gonna be real, and they're gonna be raw. I don't know if I can curse. Sorry to anybody at home, but, like, that's how I get down. Build a resentment to somebody that I don't want in my life, so I don't have to really face it in a healthy way. Right? But this time it's different. At this time, like, yeah, the first week I'm struggling, right? And then I go to some meetings and I talk to some people, and I don't talk to everybody, man. I would advise you to keep close circle. Get in someone's back pocket, somebody you think you can trust. And for me, it takes a long time for them to gain that trust. But I'll stick around. I'll stick around and I'll see what's up. And then eventually, like, I'll open up, right? Do that. Because now, the second week I'm going through this thing, I'm growing through it. Feel good about it. The third week, I can't wait to see who the fuck I'm gonna be in a year. Can't wait to see, like I want to be like, I can't wait to see who I'm gonna be with in a year, right? But I shouldn't be thinking like that. I should be thinking about who I'm gonna be, who I want to be. Because for me, like, I learned being homeless that a man with no options has every option in the world. Every option. If you don't know what you're gonna do when you leave here, cool. I don't know how many days you got clean, or you got clean, or you got clean, but I remember just being so fucking happy that I had 20 days clean. Right? I can't even tell you. I can look at my clean time app and tell you how many days I got clean. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. Let's see how many days I got clean. It says right here I got 527 days. Right? 527 days. That's not even 2 years. That's what it says, right? So, like this program is for me, Narcotics Anonymous is like a home that I've never had. I can go to the snake pit. I can go to inner city. I'm dropping those names because if you get out of here, go look for them. You can go there, man, and you can play some pool. And you don't have to be in a meeting. You can play some pool. You can drink some coffee, eat some food with people, addicts coming in and out, and watch a game. Like, you don't have to be in a meeting, right? But if you hang around these places, yeah, like you will hear a message. If you hang around a barbershop, you will get a haircut, right? You hang around a bar, you're gonna marry an alcoholic. That's what my mom would say, you know. And like, I get to be there for my moms today. The same woman that would keep me from my kids when I would show up, and I'd be like, you know what? It's cool. But, like, you're not gonna be around for long, mom. Mm-hmm. Like, you won't, like, and she was thinking I was wishing death, and I wasn't. But the mere fact was, I was like, I'm gonna outlast you, and I'm gonna get my kids back. I'm not happy about that. Like, I gotta get to a certain step to apologize to her. But for now, I make a living amends by staying clean. It all starts by staying clean. Yes. Like I remember crossing over the Vincent St. Thomas Bridge during COVID, because me and the same guy that I saw through a Zoom meeting wanted to go watch Tenet. And I'm like, man, I love my life right now. I'm in my car. I got a nice car. And he looks over, and I won't forget the moment. He was like, just stay clean, bro. Just stay clean. This is what happens when you stay clean. Like if you're worried about getting a job, like I promise you, my God just puts that thing in front of me. He put the most beautiful woman I've ever been with in my life, right? I got to go on trips and conventions in Miami, and I got to meet her family, and I got to meet somebody's soul. Like I got to see past physical beauty and connection, right? And I look at like what I'm going through right now, and I'm not lonely. I miss connection. So I'm here to connect with you guys. When I'm home alone, I'm connecting with myself because yeah, I got a place of my own. Like I got some things, bro. I live by the beach. I don't make all the money in the world, but I got a little money in my pocket to put $1 in a basket at a meeting because this is like the cheapest therapy you're probably ever gonna get. Right? Like I'm not therapy. I've never tried that. I'm doing that right now. I'm doing what's good for myself, right? And my insurance pays for that. And I know that I don't have the best therapist, but I don't care. I just need her to listen to some real shit that I can't tell my sponsor. Or I just can't. Right? But the point is like what I'm doing for myself, right? But I didn't do it alone. I wanted to get to this real quick. Like I read something last night. And this is in the chapter Recovery and Relapse, right? And it says like the progression of recovery is a continuous uphill journey, right? So we get to break these words down paragraph by paragraph. And people don't like this because they're like, we can't even read the whole damn chapter because everyone's sharing on a paragraph. That's cool. Because what I saw was the progression of recovery is a continuous uphill journey. For my recovery to progress, I gotta put in work. Because you can't just roll a ball up a hill and it's gonna just stay up there. You can't just sit it on the ground and watch it roll. Like gravity don't work like that. My recovery doesn't work like that, right? The next line I read was like, without effort, we start the downhill run again. Without effort. You can just set a ball on a hill, like knowledge. And it'll roll down. You don't need no work for that. Right. And the last thing I read was like the progression of the disease is an ongoing process even during abstinence. That's not stopping, dude. That motherfucker's doing push-ups while I sleep. That motherfucker's like, this fool fucking, you know what? I'm gonna send him this chick. Right? Let's see how it works. Because I'm not addicted to drugs, dude. I'm addicted to a feeling. I'm addicted to a look that a woman gets me. I'm addicted to a haircut, bro. Because I'm gonna be like, God damn, man, you look good. Then my ego kicks in, then I'm gonna go out, right? Or go to a meeting and then prey on some chick because I know I'm single now, right? And then fuck up her shit and possibly get her pregnant, right? And then complicate my recovery in my life over a haircut. I'm addicted to everything. And this has been happening since before I started using drugs, dude. I was addicted to watching my uncles beat people up because that was power, right? I don't know about you guys, but I had to admit, one of the questions in my stepper was like, have you ever hurt somebody that you didn't know? Like physically harm somebody? And I have, without remorse. Like put hands on somebody for somebody. I don't know this motherfucker. Let's go hurt him. Hurt him bad. I've done that. Right. And I'm not saying that to boast, but those are things I got to face through step work. Right. Like it's different when you beef with somebody. It's different when you don't like somebody or you get to see him every day in treatment and everything the fucker does because he snores when he sleeps or whatever. That's different if you put hands on somebody for that. Right. But when you go up to a complete stranger and put him in the hospital for no reason, there's something wrong with me. Like my ticker, my wheels I don't function like most people. I'm an addict. Function like you people. That's exactly how I function. Like every single one of you guys. Like that's how I get down. And like I'm here to let you know this program works, man. But if like we don't continue to work it, now I get stagnant. I was in this relationship for 3 years. Stagnant. Just because I show up to meetings and I'm showing face and I'm really listening, but I'm not. I'm looking at that girl's ass who's going to get coffee, right? I don't go home and read literature. I don't do that. But like my God was like, all right, motherfucker, boom. Now it's me and you. Now what do you want to do? And I have a choice today. I didn't have a choice when I was out there in a tent. I didn't have a choice when I was out there robbing and stealing. I remember the handcuffs being slapped on me after I don't know how long. They go to my mom's house. I hit the fence. I'm coming out the back of my neighbor's house. I'm coming out the side house and the cops are there, guns drawn, right? They slapped the handcuffs on me, and I didn't realize then what I did now. I remember they putting them on me and being like, thank God, thank you. I'm asleep before these guys start rolling. Get me to a cell, house me, because I could not stop using. That's what it took for me. Like that was peace for me. That was my peace. Like my peace was like sitting in a trailer in Elsinore somewhere with some chick on the ground with all her shit on the bag. This fucking however, just looking through her shit for hours, dude, for days. Some old man taking advantage of some girl in the back room, showing her how to slam. It's my peace, right? Telling someone not to move, stop moving the fucking bed, bro. I'm trying to fucking hit a vein here. Like what? Like stop moving the fucking bed. Like, do you know what I gave up for? What are you talking about, bro? I should be at a little league game right now. That's where I should be. Like that's what I went through. I remember I could not stop using no matter how bad I hurt my family or neglected my children or said some fucked up shit to my mom. Like I'm really passionate about this program in Narcotics Anonymous because the people that introduced me to this program are the same way. I will die out there, dude. Like I will die out there. It happens all the time. Like that woman right there put so much love into me, and I didn't know her. Wearing that same little apron, that same shirt, smoking her cigarettes, right? That lady back there gave me a second chance. That man right there kind of turns his head when it's right. Like Fred Brown is not just like a straight up treatment center, like where they're gonna like kick you out over some bullshit. Like I really feel like you guys invested time in me. Like I thank you guys a lot. Thank you so much. Like this is a big deal for me to be here. I've never shared at any one of these meetings here. I'm not a 45-minute speaker. I mean, like that'll probably never happen. But I do know that I was at a picnic on yesterday, and I'm talking to a man who shared at a Palm Springs convention that gives me his number, tells me get involved in the area. I'm talking to a man before I get here that is shared all over the nation. I'm talking to somebody who invited me to Boston just to watch him share and speak. Like we take you guys under our wings, right? And your life is beautiful, right? People say beyond your wildest dreams. I don't know about all that, but I know that my life sometimes isn't always rainbows and unicorns and whatever. Yeah, and all that stuff, right? Strawberries and orgasms, and I'm trying to keep it clean. But like, it's not, dude. It's not. It doesn't get easier, dude. But I don't know how hard you had it out there. I had it fucking hard. And I had it as hard as I did it to myself, right? Pain for me was never an option, but suffering is.
That's right.
Suffering is an option. Like if you didn't have hope and don't believe in this, believe that I believe in this, right? I have a higher power, whatever your higher power is going to be, that's cool. That's cool. But this is like a program it's a spiritual program, man. And like I can't even go and I want to not scan my organic eggs at the self checkout because eggs are fucking expensive. But don't, dude. That's just my disease. I have money in my pocket now. You know, like I can count the money in my pocket. Never enough. But I count my blessings.
Yeah.
Can overpay all day long.
Right.
All day long. Okay. I want to look at like I lost the most beautiful woman I've ever met. No, but I'm looking at today like that's what I'm looking for. I just became the person I am because the most beautiful person just passed through my life. People are going to pass through your lives, man. And when you have them, fucking hold on to them, love on them. Even if it's that dude on the street, whatever, who needs food, go buy him food. Don't give him money. You know what he's going to do with that money. Not buy the man some food, right? If you see someone struggling, not wanting to go to a meeting because you can see, like I can look in your eyes and like, I don't know. Like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like you can see that shit. Be like, let's go to a meeting. Like if they don't want to, like, look, bro, what do you want to eat? I got you. They love on them, man. Like that's what this program it's taught me. It's taught me how to love, man. It's taught me how to love and it's taught me how to believe in myself. It's given me hope, more hope that I ever had in my life, dude. I can go on and on and on about this program. I didn't want to talk much about addiction. I want to talk more about recovery because like you guys are here to recover. Addiction, if you want addiction, it's right out there. You know what I mean? It's right out there. Like there's some of you guys that are in here that are young, dude. I've seen people go get degrees, like get well paid. The dude I was talking to right now, he works at a drug court. he works for the drug court, and he brought some people to the meeting. Like, yeah, I was gonna put that one in jail. Like, he'll put you in jail for 2 days. Like, I put someone in jail 2 days, like for 2 days, and they were looking at me like, this motherfucker. 2 days, right? They're like, yeah, and they're like, I never loved anybody that much who put me in jail. Like, I know people who work for courts. I know people who like your life. You can be anything you want to be, man. Because like I said, if you got no options, you got every option in the world. Like, that's about as best as I can put it for you guys. Yeah, like, I really appreciate you guys asking me to come share. Like, thank you. I really appreciate you telling me or showing us where you're at in your recovery. But like I'm just so full of joy and love right now. Like, this is a big deal. I don't know about you guys, but this is a big deal. Like, for me. Like, I thank you guys for allowing me to be a part of your recovery. I don't know if I said anything that'll stick. I don't know. I don't know if I said anything that's just like, oh, this guy's full of shit. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. This is what I'm doing for me because I'm selfish. Right? But in this program, what I do for myself, it's gonna spread. Like, don't get it twisted. If you think I'm doing this for you guys, like, you guys are fucking crazy. I'm an addict, dude. I said I'm doing this for me. So I'm going through a breakup. Nah, man, I'm doing this. To be honest with you, I'm just giving back what was really given to me. Like, I give her a hug every time I see her and I'm not in treatment. But she gave me these hugs, right? When I couldn't hug my mom, I couldn't hug her. I couldn't love on my mom, she would love on me. You know what I mean? My mom wouldn't give me a second chance. That woman did. When I couldn't go to my uncle, that man gave me a place. You know? When I didn't want to hear the shit I needed to hear, Abel fucking let me hear the shit I needed to hear. I'm grateful for that, guys. I just want to say thank you guys and